Hey everyone, this is Factory Team Rider Edmund Leduc bringing you another Unitricks tutorial brought to you by municycle.ca, and this time it'll be for hand flips. Alright, so before we get into hand flips, there's a few tricks you gotta get consistent before you can actually try them. First up being no footers. You can either catch them or not catch them. It's all up to you. It depends on your preference and style or whatnot. The first thing you can notice about no footers is that you can either go upwards or you can do them a bit more sideways. That really depends on your personal preference. You can do them the way you want. The most important thing about no footers is how high you actually jump up. Jump as high as you can and bring the unicycle up with you. This is going to be important to remember when you're going to be trying either hand flips or no footer tire grabs. Alright, so there's one last trick you're going to have to learn before you actually do hand flips, and that would be no footer tire grabs. For these guys, try to focus more on how high you touch the tire during your jump rather than how long you actually grab the tire. Just to give you an idea of how high up I actually grab the tire, I'm actually almost at the top or at the top completely of my actual jump. So keep that in mind when you're trying your no footer tire grabs. So the last thing you want to keep in mind when you're trying no footer tire grabs is to keep those pedals as horizontal as possible. Don't try to rotate them a little backwards or forwards. This is not going to help for learning hand flips. Alright, so hand flips. First thing you want to look at is obviously compressing the tire. I know it sounds obvious, but compress down as hard and as much as you can to get as much air time and height as you can. You'll notice that if you try off ledges, you might have an easier time with hand flips than on flat. Personally, I started on ledges. It's up to you. You can do them on flat or off a ledge. So the second, and in my opinion most important aspect about learning hand flips is that you really need to bring your unicycle up with you when you jump, as opposed to keeping it near the ground like other tricks that you might have seen before. This is really important because the closer your wheel is to your body, the easier you'll be able to flip the wheel with your hand because it'll be closer to you, obviously. So the third aspect that's really important to know about hand flips is how your hand actually flips the tire. You'll notice right here during this still frame that my fingers come in contact with the wheel first, followed through by the palm of my hand that pushes through to get the wheel to flip, basically. This brings me to the following point. If you've got more than one wheel set, make sure you throw on your lightest wheel set for hand flips. It's really going to help you out when you start. I noticed with my Nimbus wheel set, it was harder to land hand flips on flat than it was, for example, with my Mat for One wheel set. So if you've got a lighter wheel set, throw it on. It's really going to be helpful. It's important that you know that you don't have to grab the tire to flip it. You can just like whip your hand across the tire and it's going to work. If you try to grab the tire and flip it, you're going to have a really hard time actually getting a full hand flip, especially on flat. And make sure you aim for the pedals as much as possible. I say it in every tutorial I make, but landing on the pedals makes it way easier to roll out. Alright, so let's go for a recap. First off, like we mentioned, is to compress this tire as much as you can. You're going to need that air and that height to do hand flips. Next up, you're going to pull the unicycle up with you as you jump. After that, your hand will be really close to the tires, so you can bring your 4 fingers down onto the tire and push through, following with your palm. And last but not least, bring the unicycle back down with you and land right on the pedals to roll out as smooth as you can. So I hope that this tutorial was as helpful as I wanted it to be. If ever this tutorial helps you towards landing hand flips, feel free to post your videos with a link in the comments or on Facebook or whatnot. I'll be really happy to see that this tutorial helped you. It's one of my favorite tricks, so yeah, I'll be really stoked if you guys get this thanks to this video. So thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe for more Unitrick tutorials. And keep an eye out for maybe a fall vid, who knows, I might bring some more filming to the table in the next following months, so see you guys next time.